UFOs are real, burgeoning and not going away. This is the coming great deception. However, when we go up, they come down. When we go up, they show up. I'm your intrepid host, Marzulli. Welcome to another edition of UFO Update. I'm doing a lot of these things. Something is going on. I want to thank my good friend Matt Freeman. I'll be seeing him over the weekend. And Matt's a great guy. He's a pastor of New City Church in Oklahoma City, Edmond, Oklahoma. If you're in the area, you want a great church, a Bible-believing church, he's fantastic. He teaches verse by verse by verse, and he's like, dare I say, a modern-day Chuck Missler, and that's in really good company that way. So we'll get into this, but first, a word from our trusted sponsor. It turns out the key to losing weight and keeping it off is not in carbs or fat or even probiotic-rich foods. Nope, the end game of having a healthy weight, as well as more energy and a long, healthy life, comes down to a specific switch you can flip in your body to flush out unnecessary calories. Dr. Stephen Gundry is calling this caloric bypass. And by activating this specific process in your body, he has seen thousands, that's right, folks, thousands of people dramatically improve their health, even at age 50 and beyond. This includes losing weight, getting tons more energy, and returning to the good health they had in their youth once they simply address this one key to better health. Not only that, this is actually associated with improved digestion, strong feeling joints and muscles, smoother skin, healthier lives, meaning it could be the key to a happy life. Dr. Stephen Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone. His health is fantastic, and he feels younger and healthier today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch and learn more about this at healthyfat.com/LA. That's once again, thehealthyfat.com/LA. Once again, thehealthyfat.com/LA. Folks, it's linked at the bottom of this video, and Dr. Gundry will teach you exactly how he kept his weight off. Once again, it's thehealthyfat.com/LA. I've seen this clip before. Richard Shaw and I actually went into Hollywood. It was a friend of Rick's years ago, and this particular gentleman believed that it was fake. It's people in costumes. I don't know. I do find it interesting. I'm going to run with the clip, and I'll show it to you. So we're going to go over to camera 2. Here we go. From the first contact in 1942, a series of diplomatic visits to discuss matters of mutual concern were planned. Under the Treaty 2304, these meetings would take place in secrecy. A limited number of special agents would escort visitors, and they would only meet high-ranking officers. According to a document, at the meeting of 1961, there was an incident involving 3 subjects due to the violation of the agreement by the officers at the military base when they discovered that their arrival was being filmed with a hidden device without their consent. Under the treaty, the meeting would be confidential, and filming or taking photographs would not be allowed. And there allegedly is the film of a group of ETs coming in. So there it is again. And what we've got to remember is you can certainly create puppets like this and go from there. So let me weigh in on this. Some of that is also called Skinny Bob. And I'm gonna type that in right here. Let me go to YouTube. Hold on. Give me a second. But that allegedly is supposed to be Skinny Bob. I want to say something here. We went to a special effects gentleman in Hollywood, the late Richard Shaw and I. This guy was the guy who invented the arm for the Terminator, so he knows. And he looked at it and said, "It's got to be fake." I'm still not so sure. Could it be something that was smuggled out? Very possible. Let's roll the clip. Here we go. Notice the four-fingered hand. That we've heard this numerous times. In fact, the late Dr. Roger Lear and I. Let me go back. I want to show you something. Okay, here we go. Okay, if you'll notice the ends of the fingers, they're slightly bulbous. Richard Shaw and I did this with the late Dr. Roger Lear. It's hard to believe that both men are no longer here, and I'm a lone man standing. But I'm not alone. My new business partner, Gil Zimmerman, and I are pressing forward. Here's what you've got to remember. Dr. Roger Lear went to a house where a person had been abducted. On the windowsill, right next to the bed, was a four-fingered hand imprint. So here we are again with the four fingers. So I'm not so sure here. I don't know what I'm looking at. I can't vet this either way. So when I have information like this, I put it on the back burner. Let's continue. What I do find interesting here is that some of the descriptions are exactly what we get from people who are being abducted. I do not think we are looking at a gray. I think this is something else entirely different. It's got the almond-shaped eyes, a huge head. Are we looking at, this is total conjecture, especially if we're looking at a puppet. Now what do you do, right? Then we're off in the ozone. That's why I really can't weigh in on it and say, aha, conclusive proof. I can't. There's no provenance for the film. I don't know where this came from. No one knows where it came from. Was it leaked out? Possibly. Thanks, Matt. Matt Freeman, see what you got us into here today? Let's continue. It's very convincing. And again, the gentleman, I won't mention his name, but the gentleman in Hollywood just said, it's a puppet, it's a fake. Again, I'll say it. I'm not so sure. Are we actually looking at I wrote about this in my very first book, Nephilim, published a million years ago by Zondervan. I think it was released in 1999, 98, 99. So it's 25, 26 years old. Hard to believe. I wish she had whippersnapping in. But I digress. Is it possible that, let's say you're an angelic entity and your sustenance comes from the living God? Your sustenance comes from being in the presence of a living God. So now you rebel and you're no longer with the living God. And, you're in rebellion. Is this what you look like? I don't know. That's complete conjecture on my part. But is it possible? And that's, I think like this. I'm not saying it is, but I do find it incredibly interesting. So let me just move on a little bit here. Obviously, there's no wings, there's no tail, there's no rotor wash, there's no exhaust coming out. Is it the real thing? Is it back engineered? Very possible. This is really a good clip, and I'm probably going to use this at the Prophecy Watchers conference because it's important that people see what is out there, and a lot of this is just rerun. So the bottom line for me, folks, I can't say yay or nay, but just like the White Sands footage that was leaked, where you see the shining craft come in, it hits, it goes up, and then the second time it just explodes. I believe that is real. I believe the clip that we showed from what I believe is the bodies coming in to Roswell, that confusion of military personnel. Could you recreate that? Well, of course you can, but at what cost? You've got to get the uniforms and the trucks and the film and the film crew. That's not what we're looking at. Somebody's filming this thing, and the cameraman is constantly being jostled around because people are cutting in front of the cameraman all the time. And it's in our film on Roswell. It's actually in our film on Roswell. And that is, of course, the debris field right here. 2 films on Roswell. And you can get all 10 of them by going to LAMarzulli.com or streaming. You just watch them, streaming at LAMarzulli.net. Anyway, folks, that's it. I'll say the byline again because it's important that I say it. UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. This is the UFO phenomenon, is the coming great deception. And I will be talking about this at the Prophecy Watchers Conference. How do you create a one world government, a one world religious system? You tell me. How do you do that? How do you do that? That's it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back again with another episode of UFO Update.